Hi guys, welcome back. In the last video we have created a user CRUD operation in Flask REST API. In this video what we are going to do, we are going to create a similar user CRUD operation with Flask RESTful API. We will see the beauty of Flask RESTful. Okay, so let's get started. So what I have done, I have just activated my virtual environment. I have created and activated my virtual environment, and I have a file that name app.py. Okay, I have that file. So what I am going to do, I am going to write all the code over here. So before writing the code, what I need to do is I need to install the Flask RESTful. Okay, so let me install that. Pip install Flask RESTful. I hope I have written connecting. Okay, now this already requirement is already satisfied. Okay, Flask RESTful is installed. Next what I am going to do, I am going to for our first step, what we are going to do, we are going to import all the packages. We have imported Flask, Flask RESTful, Flask SQL Alchemy and Flask Marshmallow. Okay, these 4 packages we are using. Okay, next is we are going to initialize our app. For initializing our app, we are going to use initialize app is equal to Flask of name. Then what we are going to do, we are going to just simply initialize our database with SQL. Means we are configuring our database mainly. api.app.config SQL database URI. This is the database URI. Our URI is SQLite. We are using SQLite :/ user details.db. Okay. Then app.config SQL Alchemy track modification we have enabled to true. Then what we are going to do, we are going to initialize our database. Okay, we have initialized our database SQL Alchemy of app, means we are initializing the SQL Alchemy with the app. Okay, next what we are going to do, we are going to initialize our Marshmallow. Okay, so for Marshmallow initialization, ma is equal to Marshmallow of that similar app. Okay, so this is our initializing part. Next what we are going to do, we are going to create a table. Okay, we are going to create a table that will represent a user. Okay, so if you are you have watched the last video, this video is quite similar, but there will be small changes in routes and handling, but the model is going to completely same. Okay, so what we are doing, we are creating a column of ID. First we are going to create a class of user that is inherited from the DB model class. Then we are creating a first column, that is, you can say that Flask means first class variable, but in this case we will call this as column because it's a model. We are taking this as model. Okay, so id is our first column, that is db integer type, primary key, it's a primary key, and auto increment is true. Next is the name, that is a type of string, email is also string, and password is also string. After that what we are going to do, we are going to just define our initializer so that we can initialize a new user. In initializer we are taking in init function we are taking name, email and password, and we are initializing with the variables, self.name is equal to name, self.email is equal to email, and self.password is password. So this much about our table, we are about our creating a table. So we will save the code here, and now we are going to another file, that is create.db. So what happened, we have created our model, but we have not created the database. For doing that, what I am going to do, I am going to just another file. I have written this file for the last program also, so I am just not rewriting. From app we are importing db, from app we are importing the SQL Alchemy database db. Okay, db.createAll. So what db.createAll will do, db.createAll will create every class with inheritance of db.model, means this class, this table is going to be created. Okay, so if I will execute this command, let me execute that, python create database.py. Okay, it will create a database. Okay, user details.db is our database. Okay, so we have created the database. Now it's our time to define the routes. Okay, so for defining the route, what we are going to do, then we are going to define the Marshmallow first. so that we can serialize our means response. So for that we are using Marshmallow. So first what we have done, we have just created a class, that is user schema, that is a inherited class from ma.schema class, marshmallow.schema class, and in meta class we are defining the fields, what fields we are going to serialize. That you may ask that what is the work of this serializer. What is the work of this serializer is, suppose you have 4 columns and you don't want to give the password column to the user, means when a user query that select all from the user table, you don't want to give a response in a password, means you don't want to give the password field as response, you only want to give ID, name and email. So you can use in that case you can use the serializer. What it will do, it will format the data, means you will query the data and you will format the data and you can response the formatted data. For our case we are using that same password, okay, we are returning all the fields, but you can format in your way. After that what you are going to do, you are going to initialize the schema. So initializing the schema have 2 types. First we are initializing a user schema as an instance of user schema, and user schema as an instance of same user schema, but an additional parameter many is equals to true. What it means is, when you are handling, means when you are serializing a single user, you will use user schema, and when you are serializing multiple users, then you can use user schema, means many is equal to true. So it will serialize multiple users and return a array of, means list of users. Okay, that's all. Next what we are going to do, we are going to define our route for the get and post. Okay, so let me just create another simple class. Okay, here means in Flask RESTful, defining a class means we are handling the route with the class. Okay, so we are first creating a class, the class name is user get post, and this class is inherited from the class resource. Okay, so that means it's a resource inherited class. Inside that we have defined our post method, and in post method we first initialize our new user is equal to user of name request.json of name, means whatever we are requesting from the request, we are whatever name we are means accepting from the request, we have initialized with name, email we have initialized with email, and password we have initialized with password. So after initialization what we are going to do, we have to add the new user to the database. So db.session.add new user will add the new user to the database session. Finally we have to commit, so that this new user is going to be saved in the database. For that db.session.commit. Okay, so after doing all the things, we are only returning a response, that is return user schema.jsonify new users. Okay, so this is how we are going to define a post request. Look here, we have not doing any means slash post slash get, we are not doing that. We are only creating a class, and inside that we are directly creating a function with name of the request. Okay, similarly for a get request I am going to write another function for a get request. Okay, define get. In get what we are doing, we are getting all the users and we are JSONifying the user schema.dump, means first we are serializing with user schema and then we are JSONifying it and we are returning the response. Okay, that's all. We have created a simple class of get and post, and which will work for both the method get and post. Now the work is to bind this class with a route. For that what we are going to do, we are going to use the api.add resource that will add a new resource with the add resource take 2 main parameter. First is the class name, second one is the route. We are initializing, we are adding a resource this class name with this route, means when a request comes with this route, then it is going to call to this class, and inside this class, if there will be method that user is requesting. If user is requesting for post method, this post method is going to execute it. If user means if the request is having the get method, then its get method is going to be what? This get method is going to be means called. Okay, so here is a error, API is not defined, so we have to define the API. Okay, so for defining the API, we can do that by initializing the API. Okay, API is equals to API of the app. Okay, we have initialized the API. Okay, now the final thing is, let's define our main function to run. Okay, so for main function, what we are going to do, we are going to write a main function to run the server. Okay, let me save it. I have saved the file. Let me run the app.py. Okay, our server is started. So let me just open my Postman and select a get query, and URL as http 5000/user, send it. And okay, prior to this, I have used this same database for the previous one. So this database have some value. Okay, so it is using these values to get a user. Okay, we have created a user in the last video. The user have email and ID, name and password. Okay, so get request is working fine. Then we will test for the post request. Okay, in post request, we are going to write a header. Header is content type. Well, content type, our content type is application/json. Okay, and for the URL, we are using http/user. Okay, in the body, we are going to give the raw data. Well, we are going to give a JSON of name, and name will be Jack. Well, then email will be jack@email.com, and password will be jackpass. Well, we have defined the request body. Let me send a request to it there. Okay, now we get a new user with ID 3, and the email is jack@email.com, name is Jack, and password is jackpass. Okay, so our post method is also working fine. Now next two methods are put and delete method, that is updating the user and deleting the user. For that, we are going to create another class, and we are going to also define a put method inside that and a delete method inside that, and we have to place this before binding the URL. Okay, so we have created a class of user put delete, and inside that we are defining a put method. What put method is doing? Put method is also taking a ID as a parameter. Okay, so after getting the ID, we are querying for the specific user with the ID. Then we are updating the data, means user.email, we are updating the name with the name user have given on the request, email user have given as the means request, and password user have given as per the password in the request. Next, what we are going to do, we are committing the change. Here we are not adding or deleting, we are committing the change, so that this user is going to be changed in the database. Okay, similarly, what we are going to do, we are going to write another method of delete to delete the user. Similar to the put, delete is also first getting the user from the ID, then it is deleting the user. db.session.delete deletes the user from the session, and db.session.commit will reflect in the database. Okay, so it will delete the user from the database. Okay, let me just as a final step, we are going to define another route for handling this put and delete method. Means basically this user put delete class, we are binding user put delete class with the route slash user slash id. This id is the user id. Okay, so this all. Let me save the file. Okay, I have saved the file and the server is restarted. Let me open my Postman, and here I am going to convert this post to put request, and in put I will create, I will update jog and update the email and update the password. Okay, let me send the request. Okay, this method is not allowed. Put method with slash user. Okay, I am forgotten slash user slash user id. My user id is 3, I think. Yes, my user id is 3. Send a request. Okay, data updated for the user 3. Get all the users. Okay, 3 updated email. Okay, this is our user, we have updated now. Okay, finally let's check for the delete, and our http slash user slash not 2, our user is 3. Let send data deleted successfully, and if you will check the get method, there is no user with id 3. Okay, so delete method is also working fine. So this much we have related, means we have created a simple CRUD operation with using RESTful API. Hope you have liked the video. If so, please like, share and subscribe this channel, and in future video what we are going to do, we are going to create a REST plus API, the best REST API library we are going to use in the next video. And next video what we are going to do, we are going to integrate the serverless with the API, so that we can deploy these APIs to the AWS cloud. Okay, so that's all for now. Stay tuned and thank you for watching.